real terror isn't just the crop damage. It's what wild boar carry with them. African swine fever has already cost the global economy over $100 billion, and wild boars serve as the perfect reservoir and transmission vector for this devastating disease. In Alabama alone, this disease costs millions of dollars every single year. And it's not just about lost income for farmers. It's about food security, public health, and whether we can stop an unstoppable enemy. Traditional solutions? They've failed. Farmers across the globe are watching their livelihoods vanish while the disease spreads unchecked. The nightmare doesn't end there. Wild boars aren't just destroying fields. They're also passing deadly pathogens from the wild to domestic pigs, creating a vicious cycle that threatens the entire agricultural industry. But here's the twist. A simple yet powerful solution has been proven to work. It's called the pig brig trapping system. Now, African swine fever isn't the only problem. Wild boars also carry brucellosis, caused by the Brucella bacterium. It spreads silently through mating. Infecting herds, moving to livestock, and eventually reaching humans. A single infected boar can set off a chain reaction that devastates communities. So how do we fight back? Enter the pig brig system, an innovation born from years of research into wild boar behavior tested by Auburn University and the USDA. Unlike traditional traps, pig brig doesn't need a farmer standing guard. It works automatically, using the boar's own instincts against them. The results? A staggering 96.7% reduction in wild boar numbers, and a dramatic halt in the spread of African swine fever. Here's how it works. Farmers set the trap in places boars can't resist: forest edges, trails to water, or fields already destroyed. The design is genius. No fixed doors, just a flexible mesh that makes the entire herd feel safe enough to enter. Once inside, a gravity-driven reverse funnel snaps shut. Trapping them all at once. No wasted time, no close encounters. The trap runs 24/7, and once those boars step inside, there's no escape. But even with the best system, farmers must protect themselves. Gloves, masks, boots, and coats are essential. Wild boars carry pathogens in their blood and fluids, and one careless moment could unleash an outbreak. Everything used, nets, boots, tools, must be disinfected, or the bacteria will find its way into the community like a ticking time bomb. Yet despite the risks, wild boar meat remains popular. Its rich, gamey flavor and tender texture make it highly sought after. For many, it's a delicacy. But here lies the controversy. In the era of African swine fever, is eating wild boar worth the danger? For some, it's flavor over fear. For others, safety comes first. Meanwhile, wild boars are multiplying out of control. From just 2 million in 1990, their population exploded to nearly 9 million by 2019, spreading to at least 39 states. Today, they cause an estimated $1.5 billion in crop damage every year. Here's the staggering fact. To simply stop growth, 60% of the wild boar population must be killed every single year. Anything less, and they'll keep multiplying. That's why the USDA and state governments are pouring millions into solutions. Texas and Oklahoma even approved poisons like kaput in 2024. A desperate move to slow the invasion. But poisoning isn't the only answer. Farmers rely heavily on cage traps, but most fail to use them effectively. And these clever animals, they learn fast. One mistake, and the entire herd avoids the trap forever. So how do you get it right? Cage traps work best when they're massive, 30 to 40 feet in diameter, big enough to catch an entire herd at once. Smaller traps just make survivors smarter. The walls must be at least 5 feet high, reinforced with steel, because wild boars can jump, push, and claw their way out of weaker materials. And the gate? Remote activated. Closing it manually usually means catching just a few stragglers while the herd escapes. But even the perfect trap fails if it's in the wrong spot. Research from Texas A&M shows location is everything. Set the trap near water sources or along high-traffic trails marked by uprooted soil, rolling pits, and hoof prints. Then comes pre-baiting, a secret many overlook. By feeding boars at the trap site for 3 to 7 days, they grow confident and walk right in. Done right, this boosts success rates by 60%, and bait matters. Fermented corn is the gold standard. Just soak it for a week until the smell is unbearable to us, but irresistible to boars. In summer, watermelons, peaches, or apples do wonders. High-protein commercial attractants can draw in even larger herds. But the biggest mistake? Rushing. Wild boars are nocturnal. If you trigger a trap too early, you catch only a few and teach the rest to avoid it. Instead, wait until 80% of the herd is inside before activating the gate. And never leave a trap boar too long. Its distress calls warn the others. Smart farmers rotate traps every few months to stay one step ahead. Because here's the truth. This isn't just about crops. It's about the survival of farming communities, food safety, and public health. If we ignore the problem, wild boars and the diseases they carry will push us into disaster. So I'll leave you with this question. Would you risk eating wild boar for the flavor, or choose safety to protect your future?